Seriously, nobody ever says cheese and then dies.
Cheese. Oh!
Oh. Um. Roll titles. Hey guys, welcome to another Gimme Goosebumps. So we've moved on from Welcome to Dead House and now we're on Say Cheese and Die. Ooh, yes. Now before I go on, I will say that there will be spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen the episode or read the book and you want to, go and do that first, but then please come back. Cool. So Say Cheese and Die was actually the second book released in the UK series, because if you're from America, the books were released in a slightly different order. And it's actually the second book I read of Goosebumps as well. Back in primary school, we used to have like this book club. Well, the teacher wanted us to read like a book every so often, a couple of weeks, I can't remember. But the first book I read was Welcome to Dead House, and then the second book I read was Say Cheese and Die. And I remember the teacher wasn't too happy because he wanted me to read like a lot of like quite a variety of different books. But yeah, I was way into my Goosebumps, so if I could sneak a Goosebumps book in there, it was this, every time. So, Say Cheese and Die. Now, this is a lot different from the first book. It's not my favourite, but the only reason for that is in Goosebumps, I always prefer stories which feature a monster or some kind of paranormal entity. And this one is all about a camera. So you had your zombies, your undead people in Dark Falls of Welcome to Dead House. And this one is entirely different and features a evil camera. And the synopsis goes like this. Greg and his friends think it's pretty cool when they find an old camera in a derelict house, and it works. But the camera takes weird photos, like the one of Greg's dad's new car, totally wrecked. Then his dad is in a bad car accident. What's going on? And when Greg takes a picture of his friend Shari, or Cherie, she's not in the photo when it develops. Then Shari disappears altogether. Now Greg knows for sure that the camera is creepy. More than that, it's evil. So yeah, essentially this is the story of a boy Greg and his friends who find a camera, start taking photos of it, and well, take a look for yourselves. Roll it.
There he is.
Spider. With those long legs, he does look like a spider. And just as creepy.
I hear he sleeps in there.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard he eats rats.
It's cats.
I heard it was bats. Ew, tasty.
There he goes.
Come on, you guys. Let's check this place out before they finally tear it down. What is it?
It looks like a toaster.
Hey, Bird.
Yeah, what?
I think this thing's a camera. Okay.
Say cheese.
Cheddar. I hope you captured my incredible juggling skills. Greg, you took the camera.
I didn't even notice I had it.
We've got to put it back.
Ain't no way we're going back now.
Get it?
What? It's a great action shot.
Yeah, but I took the picture before you filmed.
No, well, maybe you only thought you did.
I know I did.
Come on.
So as you can see there, Greg and his friends have trespassed into Spider's place. They've taken his camera and they've escaped. But have you seen the size of this camera? I mean, could you imagine taking that on holiday, going around taking your family photos? I mean, alright, I'm done, let me just put it in my suitcase. But you know, there seems to be something weird about this camera. Because after he took a picture of his mate on the stairs, and he fell, the photo, once it was developed, showed what happened to his friend after the photo was taken. So basically, this camera predicts the future. And this got me thinking, if you were able to have a camera that predicted the future, would you do it? As in, take this little camera by here. So, if you could simply take something like this, point, click, then have a look at the photo, would you do so? To see like what would happen to your friend in the next 24 hours or something? I wouldn't, you know? I don't want to know what's out there. I don't want any fortune teller, anybody trying to tell me anything about my life. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be a nice surprise. I'll enjoy the entire experience. Apart from the bad parts. So yeah. Would you? Comments below, please. But of course, that was just one photo. There are a lot more.
Take my picture.
Come on.
Let's see it. Come on, let me see it.
I don't get it. I think you should take it back. Just because think how bad you would feel if you got a scratch on it. Yeah, watch out! Okay, everybody. Say cheese. Cheese! Okay.
Was that so hard? Let me see. Greg, you totally missed me.
No, I didn't. I aimed it right at you. See, there's a tree you're leaning against.
An accident.
What do you mean, an accident?
The car, man. It's totaled.
So there's something obviously wrong with the camera. I mean, Greg's taking quite a few photos now. His dad's new car appears smashed up. His best friend doesn't appear in a photo, and then she disappears, and his dad's car does get smashed up. And that is why, guys, I do not want to know my future one bit. I don't want to know what's around the corner. Because do you see how stressed out Greg's getting? He's dreaming about taking a family photo and they appear as skeletons. And, you know, and who wants their best friend to disappear? Anyway, so Greg decides that he needs this camera out of his life. He needs to return it. He wants to get his best friend back wherever she's gone. Has she run off? Who knows? But something's become clear. This camera, is it possessed? Because it doesn't predict the future. It creates it. Whatever it takes a picture of, it seems to then manipulate that object or that person, you know, causing something bad to happen to them. So Greg decides, right, I got to get this back. And, you know, does Spider know about this secret? I think he does, because he's watching from afar, you know, hiding behind trees and whatnot, keeping a close eye. So yeah, Greg decides to return it, and then what happens?
The camera knew, Bert. It knew that Sherry was gonna disappear.
Oh, man.
No, look, don't you get it? It predicts the future, and it makes it bad.
No. It's so unreal. All of a sudden, I was back in my backyard. I don't even know where I was.
It's the camera. It made you disappear. I'm gonna bring it back.
Primitive tribes fear the camera. They believe that if it takes their picture, it will steal their soul. This camera is far worse. Far worse. Far worse.
We were just gonna bring it back.
I soon discovered it not only predicted the future, it made it happen. And it was always disastrous. It can't be destroyed.
You can't keep us here forever.
I'm sorry. I have no choice.
Well, it turns out this camera was evil after all and created by Spider and his partner. They invented it, and his partner was really evil apparently. And yeah, so Spider's been trying to protect everyone from this camera for years. And spoiler alert, he ends up getting trapped in the camera at the end after Greg takes his picture. And this is where it differs from the book, because in the book, Spider, or Dr. Fredrickson, I think it's Dr. Fredrickson, actually dies. Yeah, what happens in the book, the camera goes off, takes Spider's picture, and he dies of fright because he knows how evil the camera is and what it can do, and he's just so shocked that his picture's suddenly been taken. And yeah, so he dies in the book. But that didn't happen in the series now. Spider gets trapped in the camera and possibly released at the end as well. Do you know what, guys? Overall, it is a good story. It's very interesting, an interesting concept. Obviously, for my personal preference, it's not my favourite book because I prefer having a monster in it or something like that, you know. Like, there's quite a few monsters coming up soon in this series, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, that is Say Cheese and Die, and I just wanted to mention again, look at the artwork on this. It's great. That camera does look really evil. I didn't realise this before. It's got two eyes. It's got a mouth. How did you create such an evil camera? I'd love to know how. Maybe it says in the book, I don't know, but it's, you know, so many years ago I read this, I can't hardly remember it. Let's check out the basement. I'm just checking if it's Dr. Fredrickson. Sorry, it's Dr. Fredericks. Very close, very close. I can never let you leave, Dr. Frederick said, his face flickering in the blue glow of a lightning flash. Whew. He crossed his bony arms in front of his black sweatshirt. Yep, our secret's got to remain a secret. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this Gimme Goosebumps, Say Cheese and Die, and please will you join me on my next one, Stay Out of the Basement. We all know basements and their horrors, right? How quickly you go down, turn it on, turn it off, run back up before something gets you. Amazing. So, of course, the story is just a story. There's nothing to be worried about. It's just a simple camera, which I shall prove right now by taking my photo. Cheese! I better not show you guys that one. I'll catch you next time. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare.